The Arcturians, Higher Dimensional Energies Pouring onto Earth. By Marilyn Raffaele. June 26, 2016. Website: onenessofall.com. Produced by Higher Self.
Dear ones, we come with love, respect, and an understanding for you who are experiencing so much at this time. We would like to remind you that the world is now far advanced toward becoming fully aware, and because of this, very few world events and personal experiences are accidental. There comes a time for every serious spiritual student when accidents or unwanted experiences no longer represent third-dimensional thinking, but are experiences necessary for some needed lesson or spiritual growth. As we have said before, once a soul chooses to evolve, the train leaves the station. Everyone is feeling the higher dimensional energies now pouring to Earth with increasing intensity. These energies are serving to open mankind to a higher awareness that is empowering them to seek freedom of expression, self-rule, and new ways of living, being, and governance. Most people as of yet do not fully understand why they are feeling these urges or why their thinking has changed so much on particular issues. Mankind's increasing dissatisfaction with business as usual began when powerful and high-resonating energies began to replace the old, and personal clearings began. The heart chakras of many have cleared or are in the process, and the high heart is opening for all who are receptive. The dissolution of old energy begins the moment an individual opens themselves to more. As the heart begins to open, dense self-created energetic walls of protection that were formed around it as the result of past and present experiences, begin to dissolve. This allows the heart's already present frequencies of love to flow forth, the result of which is often a whole new worldview for the individual. The new person often does not even realize that anything has changed until he attempts to live as usual, and finds that he no longer resonates with much of it. The majority as of yet do not understand why they are now feeling differently about so many issues. Everyone interprets both inner and outer change according to their attained state of consciousness, their present belief system. For some, inner changes are reflected fully in material, three-dimensional ways like feeling the need to improve personal health, join a cause, or serve in some generally approved way. Energetic change in the emotional body manifests as higher forms of emotional reaction, such as no longer becoming emotionally involved, attached, or blocked to the point of giving away personal power. At the same time there comes an underlying and gentle sense of love that begins to permeate all actions and decisions. Mentally, one's thinking and belief system begins to shift from self to universal. You are seeing in the world the outer manifestations of increased heart energy even though much of it is still being interpreted in self-serving ways. People are experiencing a knowing that everyone is entitled to what is necessary for healthy and happy living, not just the privileged few, and are expressing their frustration as anger. Change, 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 has become the mantra of the majority even though they do not fully understand why. Because of incomplete understanding and an ignorance of the evolutionary process taking place at this time, some are choosing to simply resist all change, seeing it as a threat to their personal comfort and happiness. Others believe they must act to force change. Try to understand that everything is happening according to evolutionary plan, dear ones. The light of the higher dimensional energy is serving to expose worldwide and personal creations built upon old and finished energy. Many of these exposed issues appear to be new simply because you were not aware of them before the light of evolution began to expose them. Many houses of cards are going to fall but will go kicking and screaming. Be not afraid, dear ones, all is proceeding according to plan. Evolution is an unfolding process that cannot be hurried, for it is you the people, who must bring about change through your own attainment of more light, which then in turn adds more light to the consensus consciousness of the world. There is only one, and thus every truth that becomes your state of consciousness serves to lift the whole. Many still look to light beings or evolved extraterrestrials to fix the world, but because of free will, they cannot step in and do the work for you. These evolved beings can only guide and advise at this point, but are willing, happy, and eager to do it, for they wish to see you move beyond what is old and finished, as they themselves also had to do. Every particle of light added to the whole, shifts it a little until at some point there will be more light than not. It is important to support yourselves and others in these chaotic times, meaning that as you awaken to deeper understanding you still support others' rights to believe as they choose, no matter how different from your belief system that may be. Understand that everyone is at a different place in their journey and your place may very well not be their place. Love is patient and allowing, but is never a doormat. Energy is the substance of everything seen, heard, tasted, touched, and smelled in the physical world. The slower and heavier the energetic resonance, the more dense and material things seem. The physical expression of anything is always a mind-formed interpretation of the spiritual reality or divine idea being seen as material. This is a spiritual universe, peopled with children of God, but which up to now has been seen and lived through false belief systems that are now dissolving. Energy is everywhere you go, and many of you are now sensing the resonance of people, places, and things more acutely. You will experience increasing sensitivity as your own energy becomes lighter and it becomes easier access and align with higher frequencies. Because of this, many of you are developing new psychic abilities or accessing old ones you had long ago. Places that previously felt ordinary may now feel dense and heavy to you. Bars, malls, slums, even books and films. You may find yourselves being drawn to seek out places that feel more light and refreshing, wilderness areas, heart-centered homes or churches. Antique stores often hold a dense heaviness that comes from the old energy still held in objects from the past. Places, foods, people, and entertainments that previously resonated with you, no longer do. Let them go, for it simply means your resonance is no longer in alignment with them, no matter how familiar, enjoyable, or comfortable they were at one time. If your work or life means you must be in the heavier energies, recognize them for what they are and not resisting, for resistance only gives something a power it does not have. Those of you who work with the physically, emotionally, or mentally troubled, nurses, doctors, psychologists, prison workers, and therapists, must remember to keep your energy fields and working space clear and filled with light. Clear through intention and light between clients or as you go about your duties, never allowing yourself to align with whatever lower resonating energies may be present themselves. Everyone occasionally finds themselves in the presence of those who are not living up to the highest standards, and because your own energy field is now more receptive, you may feel the other's energy more easily. Keep exchanges always on a level of compassion and not sympathy, because with sympathy you align with the other person's energy. Always, in every personal exchange at work or in daily living, pause to remember the true divine nature of the other no matter what the appearances. Many accept intellectually that experiences are necessary for change, yet when these experiences actually occur they quickly revert back to questioning, why did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? Then proceed to seek only three-dimensional solutions, using three-dimensional tools, and seeing the situation as a third-dimensional problem. Every serious student of truth must accept that they and the world are quickly evolving and things will never again be as they were in the good old days. The higher dimensional energy pouring onto the earth right now is affecting everyone, not just those aware of it. Many are experiencing a variety of ascension symptoms, dizziness, headache, nausea, and extreme fatigue, etc. A good sign that something is ascension related and not a serious health issue, is that ascension symptoms tend to come and go. One day you may be too exhausted to put one foot in front of the other, but on the next day you feel great. Take naps or rest periods as best you can throughout the day when needed, and try not to maintain some heavy-duty active schedule that may have worked for you in your former state of consciousness. Allow the process, trusting that you are right where you need to be, and experiencing exactly what you need for the clearing, resolving remaining karma, and integration of any higher resonating energies of light you are ready for. Many are choosing to leave both in groups and individually at this time. Honor the choices of others whatever they may be, for all is a part of each soul's journey of awakening. We are the Arcturian group.